All right, friends, so here we are again. We're gonna go ahead and get started on our May bullet journal. This month we're doing baby elephants. So yeah, I just really like elephants, the babies in particular. So I decided it would be a fun thing to follow. So baby elephants with balloons. I know it's super common, but I like it, so we're gonna do it. So just working on my cover page right now. I was thinking of making calendars with all the things that I've done for the year, but I wasn't sure how that would work out. It's still just a bit of a thought process in the working stages, so we'll definitely see if that comes about, and if it does, I'll definitely let you guys know. But yeah, just here filling everything in, and I don't color anything until the very end, so we'll just have to wait and see how this little guy turns out. And also, I'm probably gonna have to find a better setup. I do realize that as I'm left-handed, it is kind of difficult for the camera to pick up what I'm doing as I'm doing it. So I might need to find a different setup for filming, basically overhead shots. So if you have any suggestions as to how I could do that, just let me know, and I'll definitely take that into consideration and try that out. So right now we're just working on our calendar for the month. I tried to do a single page calendar, but the spread just didn't turn out how I wanted. So I just went to my handy dandy 2-page spread and just filling in all of those lovely lines that took forever. And looking at this playing back, I really wish that it took this amount of time in real life. That would be so nice, but no, of course not. It takes forever. Okay, so coming up, we're just gonna fill in all the numbers for the month, and then we're gonna move on from the calendar spread. My goodness, it feels like it always takes forever. It's not that much, but it just feels like it is. I guess it's just too much repetition for my ADD mind, but it's okay. So now we are moving on. I did do my setup a little differently this month. I'm not really an experienced bullet journaler, I guess, but just seeing what works for me and what to do, and how I like my spread. So I'm gonna put a little calendar on the side, and then I'm moving my lessons learned for the month to that page. And then I'm gonna go into the week spread, and I don't use my weekly spread that much, so I decided to just do like week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 instead of drawing everything out. Because if you remember, if you watched the last video, I did cranes, and I did all that intricate work for my weekly spread, and then I used I used it 2 times. So it really was a waste of time. It looked nice, but it was really a waste of time. So I decided to just simplify it a bit. And then we're also going to do Dutch doors. I've always seen this, but I've never done it. So it was really interesting to see how it worked out. I really liked them, but they come out a little bit sloppy. So probably if I decide to do this again, I'll go ahead and maybe just find a different way to do it, or a better solution to cutting. So there I was just measuring, and now you see me cutting the pages off. And I did save those. I put them in the back of the journal in the little pocket that it has. And now we're gonna move on to our habit tracker. And I always hate drawing out the calendars for my habit trackers. So this is a really nice solution to just do everything in a circle so that I can keep track of all of my habits all in one piece and all in one location, so I'm not having to check off different calendars. So we're gonna see how this works out. This was my first time doing a tracker like this, and I'm excited to see if it works out for me in the end. So we're just going to continue drawing the circles, and I decided, I don't know why I didn't just put my pen in my compass so I could make straighter lines, but you live and you learn. So just going to continue making the 31 lines for the month of May. I can't believe it's May already. It's crazy. This year, like every year, is just flying by. But I guess that's just how life works. So we're just going to continue with the lines. Okay, I'm just writing down the numbers at this point, and then we're gonna move over to our mood tracker. So I did a baby elephant, of course, with 31 balloons. Very original, I know. So I'm gonna go ahead and trace out the elephant. And this wasn't as painful to draw as last month's theme with all of the cranes. This was so much easier. So I was grateful that I picked an easier theme. So we're gonna go ahead and draw them out. And of course a little grass and the actual tracker itself. And then all of the lovely balloons. And then of course just connecting some of the balloons. I know I didn't do all of them. I wasn't about to crowd the page like that. So it's fine, it works. And then I'm gonna go to my day tracker, just how was the day. I do like to keep track of why I was feeling, how I was feeling, just with a short, maybe 1 or 2 sentence, just summary of the day. So I really enjoy doing that, and it helps me just keep a better track of my mood. And now we're gonna move over to our sleep tracker. And I'm trying to get a handle on just getting more sleep for health reasons. So I really want to see like how I'm sleeping when I get home from work, any naps that I'm taking, because naps are important. I don't care how old you are. So any naps that I may have taken, and how late I'm going to bed or how early, that kind of thing. And then my dream tracker, because I do have crazy dreams, so I do like to just keep track of them. And now expenses and spending, just so I can keep a track on my finances and how I'm growing and what I'm spending for the month. I do a monthly begin and see what's in my account, and then a monthly end, just so I can see kind of like intake and all the money I'm spending on various things. And then of course I break everything down into bills, food, arbitrary spending, my payday, and my Acorns account. And then this is just my quote for the month, and it says, "Head up, queen, or the crown slips." And I'm just trying to remind myself of who I am and who we all are, and just how I view all of us as a whole. This doesn't just apply to me, it applies to all the people I know. If we identify as more masculine, then just replace it with king. So I really it's a reminder, definitely, to remember who I am and whose I am. And that's something that unfortunately I do struggle with. So it's nice to have this reminder every time I look at my bullet journal. And you notice that it says slips, and it's like that it's kind of dripping, and I decided to just remove that at the last minute. It didn't fit with how the spread turned out. And now we're actually coloring something, and I rarely do I really do this. It's really bad. So I'm just coloring the elephant in. It is really streaky. I'm not good with markers and coloring. It's not my forte, but we're gonna learn together, I guess, as we grow. But yeah, so just coloring in the elephant, a pretty gray color. Oh, now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking of other things I could have done as far as like coloring, like highlighting May, or I don't know, different things like that. But it's okay, it's all in the past. So I'm happy with how the spread turned out. Okay, so here we're moving on to the Dutch doors. Just putting in a couple of balloons and kind of fading in the distance. It didn't turn out exactly how I imagined, but it's okay. So just adding some balloons to keep up with the theme. And then coloring in our second elephant, and I decided to color this one in as lavender instead of the gray color, and I do like this one a lot more. I think it's just a really pretty and fun color. Here I'm just adding all the colors for my mood, just to see what mood is gonna correlate with which color. And I wasn't sure what to do with the arrows, so I just did a bunch of lines. And it works. And then for the other arrow, I think I did polka dots, so I guess we'll find out together in a moment. Alright, so here we have the final flip through. Well, almost. I've realized that I wanted some more color on my weekly spreads, so just went through and did a little bit of a highlight over those. So just my Dutch doors, we're going to see how those work. Habit tracker, mood tracker, my dreams tracker and sleep tracker, expenses and spending, and then the quote for the month, or the reminder to myself and everyone watching. So that is the end of my bullet journal for May. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.